Any opportunity to get a mitt showing? Good morning, mitt. You look cozy. You want to come outside? It's definitely Maine Coon cat weather today. Hey, there's another one over there. You ready? Yeah, Maine Coon cats were built for this weather. Come on, Steve. T-Rex is built for going out the door every single day in a 1 and a 2 and a 3, and he's out the door with enthusiasm regardless of the sky condition or the temperature, which is gray, and it's 44 degrees outdoors, 60 degrees indoors at 8:23 a.m. Wednesday, April 29, high tide in the morning, and Wednesday is the day to make the call on the weekend. Generally speaking, the weather you get on a Wednesday is opposite of the weather you're going to get on a Saturday. Without certainty. Wow. The thermometer is soaked. There's been a little bit of mist and drizzle. I don't think we achieved the dew point. Well, actually we did. The temperature and the dew point are both about 45 degrees here with a thick marine layer. Yes, I can feel the drizzle in my face. Drizzle, well, that's not really going to water the lawn, but it's better than a burning sun. Now, this layer is thick today. It's not only down near the ground, it's also up in the sky. We have an ocean storm that's kind of been stalled offshore, and it's backing westward. That's called retrograding. And we have the storm that's in the middle of the nation causing so much trouble that's coming toward the east, and the squeeze play is on, and here's what it looked like from space. First thing this morning, the good part of the block is shrinking. Nothing but sunshine, northeast kingdom of Vermont and northern New Hampshire, and then you had some spots of sunshine in central New England, but that cloud on the left is coming in from the west, and that cloud on the right is coming in from the east, and it's a slow motion sort of collision of weather systems coming across from the Atlantic and from the Pacific, that one that's in the middle of the nation that caused so much trouble yesterday. Did you see the highlights out of Springfield, Missouri? That was Grand Central Station for the thunderstorms yesterday with the hail. What is hail? Hail is a raindrop that is lifted in a violent updraft in a thunderstorm up past the freezing level, up around maybe 12,000 feet. And the updraft is so strong that that raindrop turns into ice as it continues to climb up to 20 to 30,000 or greater feet in the sky, 5 miles up in the sky, these huge chunks of ice, and then all at once the downdraft brings them down. And that's how you end up with, as Lindell said, baseball-sized hail. And the amount of damage it caused there in the parking lots near Walmart and at the airport in Springfield, just frightening. It's a wonder more people don't get hurt. The car windshield gets blown out. How do you not get hurt by hail? So that weather system's coming at us without the hail. Yesterday in Springfield, Missouri, it was 65 degrees. 2 days ago, it was 85 degrees. So that's a front that's going to come at us from the west. Our temperatures this morning were a little warmer. Where it's been cold, it's been warmer this morning because we didn't really have the decoupling, and the air was moving a little bit more. So we had mostly 40s and 50s. But in north central Maine, Brownville, Maine was 30 this morning. And the front from the west would have air coming from the south, as you see in the Champlain Valley a little bit, with temperatures in the 40s and 50s. But then that storm at sea with the old cold high pressure to our north has wind from the northeast, and that's gusting 25 to 30 on Nantucket this morning. And the red numbers are the wind gusts. And there is surf. So that storm has been sitting out there and spinning, and it looks sort of like the washing machine kind of surf, doesn't it? This is the Cinnamon Rainbows Cam at Hampton Beach, where the buoy reports 8-foot swell, 13-second period. So that is a long period, big swell. Problem is, the wind is also coming in onshore. The wind is from northeast to southwest, so that kind of ruins the surf. Now, you want the offshore wind. I don't know if we're going to get offshore, but tomorrow morning, it should be at least lighter wind and may go offshore tomorrow night and Friday morning. Getting the wind direction correct is one of the hardest parts. What do you smell? Do you smell fish? Yeah, there are a lot of fish out there. I think herring are at their prime right now. We didn't go to the herring run yesterday because there was so much else going on. And so I think what was going to happen here, where it was so beautiful the last few days, it's going to turn more ugly. And where it was not so nice near the coast, it's going to end up turning nicer. But that's not for a while. That is the optimistic weekend forecast. How's that cat mint this morning? Watching the precipitation come at us from both directions. Here is the radar, and there's a precipitation east of Maine, and also coming across from Lake Ontario and Lake Erie. So one pulse of energy moved to the north a couple days ago, and last night another pulse of energy moved to the north. And this rain is mostly falling apart. Today is mostly a dry day. So the heavier rain that's coming across from down around Arkansas, the left remnant from those thunderstorms, that's going to be a more organized low pressure system that's going to come at us. And we are going to get, all of us are going to get at least a little bit of rain beginning mostly tonight. And tomorrow is the wettest day for New England as a whole of the next probably 10 days or at least 6 or 7 days. And we're going to now move away from the GFS for the local precipitation amounts to the short range. We're going to call the play-by-play and take it out 1 or 2 days at a time using the HRRR. So here it is. I find this fascinating that the air in New England can come from every direction, and it just happens to be from the west and from the east at most levels of the atmosphere today. There's the rain coming in from across the Hudson River, and there's the rain not really making much progress from the east along I-95, drizzle and showers, Cape Cod to the coast of Maine, and then the two clash. It's like two waves running into one another, making a rogue wave of heavy precipitation for parts of New England tonight and tomorrow. And that part of New England right now looks like it's going to be the heaviest in the Mount Washington Valley, the Conway area, the Fryeburg, Maine area, especially where we can get some upslope flow, the wind from the southeast. And there's not much going on, though. It looks like southeastern Massachusetts, where I am, there's not much going on. And it's sort of a rainfall lottery, but some of us, many of us are going to get more than a ½ inch of rain. And it stops now at, let's see, that was run last night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This stops at Friday at 2 a.m., so that's out through tomorrow night. And I think that's the most appreciable rainfall. And that yellow there near the Mount Washington Valley is more than 2 inches. And the Maine coast still has 1 to 2 inches, but not as dramatic as the GFS had. But remember that GFS we were shown yesterday was for a multi-day event. Now this is mostly just the next 48 hours. And the least amount right down by my house, South Shore of Boston, South Shore of Massachusetts rather, and that's less than a ½ inch of rain. The darker blue is a ½ inch, and the purple is 2 inches. So appreciable rains for a lot, but not everybody. And if you miss it in the next 2 days, it's probably not going to get much until about next week or so. The guidance last night was fairly consistent in the big picture pattern. Just coming and freeing T-Rex a little bit here. But as for the potential nor'easter this weekend, there is definitely going to be a nor'easter. And it's maybe going to miss all of New England. If it hits any of New England, most vulnerable would be from Ledyard, Connecticut to Gloucester, Massachusetts, and Cape Cod and the islands. But the GFS has a complete miss. The Euro has a graze. The NAM is just coming in. We'll be able to use the NAM a little bit tomorrow, although do we trust that? And I'm going to just show you quickly the Canadian model. The Canadian model has a sub 980 millibar. That's a moderate to major nor'easter, but way out over the ocean, but clipping southeastern New England on Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. But the GFS says, nope, that's going to miss. And we're going to have an okay weekend for most of New England. But like I said earlier, where it's been so warm and beautiful the last few days, that's where it's going to be the coldest and the wettest in the higher elevations in the hills this weekend, because we're going to have, instead of high barometer cold, which is stable with an inversion, we're going to have low barometer cold, which is unstable and creates those April turning into May showers. So here it is, the GFS, the American model, which scored a coup and won, did the best with our forecast so far this week. And there's the rain coming at us from the west and the east, and the old high pressure system to the north of us is just kind of squeezed out. And then you have an inverted trough there from the ocean storm and the new one coming in from the west. And light wind is developing across central New England tomorrow. And then as that front moves east and that rain starts to shut off in most of New England, except for in Maine, still looks like it's going to stay wet in Maine on Friday, we're going to get more of an offshore flow. So this is where our surf may be looking better. But then that offshore flow really picks up in intensity and the temperature goes down, and that long period swell is going to go down. So this weekend, we're looking at a mixture of sun and clouds. That ocean storm sailing out to the south of New England, according to the GFS. So if that is right, then the coastal areas have the nicest weather, whereas the higher elevations have a lot of clouds and mixture of rain and snowflakes. And that low to the north is retrograding back westward into Canada, like we've been talking about for some days, but it's so far north that we're missing any of the steadier precipitation, and what looked like it could be inches and inches of snow for our mountains now looks like, nope, just a few flakes. And then we get the that low kind of coming back and looping at us again on Monday with a chance of some more instability showers. But for most of the weekend, we are not raining or snowing. We are just sun and clouds with 40s and 50s north, 50s to near 60 at the coast over the weekend. Cold air aloft, and then the front kind of revigorates, and there's new cold coming at the Midwest. And now we have that front with showers continuing off and on Monday and Tuesday, but the flow is from the southwest, and we're going to have brief warm-up where some parts of New England, especially away from the south coast, can get to 70 degrees before that front settles south again. And now we're going to have cyclogenesis, another severe weather outbreak happening next Thursday, the 7th, and going into Friday, the 8th. We are going to have another front come at us, and that's our next chance of more appreciable precipitation because there is cyclogenesis on that front. And the early call from the GFS is that low pressure center goes up into Montreal. So when this stops here on Friday, May 8th, you have warm air over southeastern New England and cold air across New York, and the battle zone is on with showers and thunderstorms. Oh, wow. And there's even some blue there, some snow trying to show up from Whiteface in northern New York to Mount Mansfield and Jay Peak in northern Vermont. Oh, got a cardinal. Oh, we're not done, Tim. And so that low there would be the leading edge of a new batch of cold air for the second week of May. So even though there are a couple of warm days in there, there's no extended period of the kind of spring weather a lot would like, but a lot would also like some rain. I know there were fires burning in parts of Vermont. I think Middlebury, out in the forested area, there was a fire yesterday. And so Vermont does have high fire danger again today. Yeah, that fire there. Tyler Jankowski posted an image of that smoke from a distance. So, yeah, it's too dry. We need the rain. Guess the weather part's over. And because I have my noise-canceling mic on and the leaves are out, we cannot hear or see that cardinal. Just trust me, he's up there. So, yeah, that's it for the weather. The Enmore yesterday. We started off here. I found a snake over there in that pile over there. I don't know if we're going to get a good glimpse of it. And mostly just kind of watching the clouds evaporate, a little time lapse, and then watching these cranes go by, always wondering which one is going to Captain's Cove. Well, the Derrick, that's a crane on a barge going by yesterday afternoon, did go to Captain's Cove, so we went over there and watched it plant itself there for the repair to the piers over there that were, well, not piers, docks, that were damaged from the blizzard and the ice over the winter. It was quite a winter for us. And now it's a fairly cold pattern here in the Boston area. But again, where it's been so cold here in Boston, it's going to warm up. And where it's been so warm, it's going to cool off. And yesterday's weather today is called, what is it, Rex? And more. Oh, wait, one more thing. I was so busy with the weather, I forgot to do the sports. Yes, the 76ers spanked the Celtics in the second half yesterday. Congratulations, Philly weather guy, on a win for your home team. And the Red Sox lost. So I love when the Red Sox and the Celtics and the Bruins are all playing, and it looked like the Bruins season was going to be over, but they pulled it off in overtime. That was a close game. It looked like the Sabres had that. So there will be at least one or two more days where the Celtics, Bruins, and Red Sox are all playing in the same time. And that's it for sports. Now let's go to yesterday's weather today and more, as he always walks away from the camera. And more on this rather chilly Tuesday morning. Good time for a time lapse, I think, of these low stratocumulus clouds over Boston, coming in from off the very cold ocean, planes landing toward the east. 10 a.m. Clouds not in that much of a hurry to thin out. That boat's in a hurry though, isn't it? What's that? Is that a fire boat? It's chilly. The clouds did thin out over Boston, but they're over Hull. They're still fairly thick. So I'm gonna monitor that backing ocean storm out there. Walk, Rex? Yeah. Call it 7, 11, 5, and 9. Rex likes to go out and take care of business, if you know what I mean. So we've got the clear sky now. The temperature's risen above the dew point, or the dew points maybe even come down a little. It's an inversion though. You can feel it and you can see it. See that darker layer over Winthrop? You watching, Dennis? Oh, bird. And there's the marine layer still over the marine environment there over Hingham and Cohasset and Hull. Air is rising inland. Not a strong pressure gradient. Air is coming in from the east, so planes take off into the wind and then turn south over our house. Lots of fun smells. Check on the progress of the peony. Looking good. There's our star peony so far right there. There's a snake. I just saw a snake go into there. I don't know how I can lift that up. There is a snake in there. Oh, there he is. I got him. Should I grab it? Oh, I don't think so. It's right under there. Rex, let's get the snake. Where'd he go? Clean out your wood pile once in a while. Where'd he go, Rex? Where's that snake? Watch out. Lumber coming through. Lots of good places for snakes under there. Get him, Rex. It was kind of gray with yellow stripe. Maybe about a couple feet long. That's the old Alberta spruce. Lots of wood to burn here. Fire danger is pretty high though. And we break for mergansers. Lunchtime. Tuesday certainly good if you can get them. Sunburn weather. Could be peak tulip weather season. Peak tulip part of the day. This one opened up about 10 days ago now. That's the elder statesman of the tulips. Then we got these fancy ones over here. They've just started opening. So they're in their first week. And any individual tulip does not usually last more than 2 weeks. So lovely, so fleeting. Such a pretty Tuesday. Sparrow. And I think, and let's check the surface map here at the same time. There's the Boston area, Cape Cod. Wind is from the north, gusting 20 to 28 miles an hour on Nantucket. Storm out at sea, 34 mile per hour gusts way out there at the buoy. And then in western New York, the wind is from the south, gusting to 41. So you've got a storm out here with the clockwise circulation, 70s in the Champlain Valley. And then out here, the clockwise circulation goes the other direction. So right in the middle of New England, very little wind at all. And here's what it looks like on the satellite imagery. There's our ocean storm. And it's stuck in a block. There's that inland storm over the Great Lakes. It's stuck in the block. And New England is stuck in the blue sky and sunshine for the most part. Although some of these high clouds are starting to show up the very far northern and western horizon. Looking at the J cam. Way to stitch it together. And there are some riders around. And I'm kind of surprised the flyer is running. I thought we were done with Tramside. But apparently Northway, I guess, maybe Vermonter, still have enough snow to get down to the base. Cool. And of course, Jet on stateside, still top to bottom, wall to wall, with a few riders on there. Yeah, the clouds have increased in northern Vermont, but we can see those clouds way off on the distant horizon here in Boston past 3 p.m. on this bright, brisk Tuesday by the sea. 3:30, visual op, big barge, escorts, pusher tug. Almost 5 o'clock, almost time for Live at 5. A huge area of tornado and yellow watch, severe thunderstorm watch. They are Arkansas, Missouri, and we've got the red flag warning for critical fire danger there in the Champlain Valley. And some frost headed for Kansas and Nebraska, freeze for parts of Utah and Colorado, and the high clouds coming in from northwest to southeast, aloft on the time lapse. We'll see that. There's the tripod from the earlier time lapse. So low level air from the east, high level air from the northwest. Differential advection. T-Rex over there itching to go for another walk. First walk. I hear you, Rex. It is almost 5. He goes over and stands by the leash and stands by the door. You're so patient. I know. I'm doing a little bit more work, okay? I'll be right with you. Articulated tug barge. Vessel specifically designed to fit into the stern of the barge and propel it. And there's a tugboat Justice behind. I don't know, is it attached, keeping it straight, maybe? Get that barge outgoing. We've got another work barge and crane incoming. Fun time lapse to Gull with the high cirrus clouds up there. Warm air advection. With these high cirrus clouds, we're going to have a sundog watch in effect as the sun goes down. It is sweater weather. And here it comes. The work barge headed for Captain's Cove Marina. Captain's Cove Marina. General Manager Charlie Bragdon. Watching the barge come in. Think we can make it over there in time to greet him?
Yeah, we got you coming.
Yeah. Look at him go. Mighty Mo. Where are we now, T-Rex? Across from Twin River Technology. Ever feel like you're being watched? You are being watched. Mighty Mo. I see these vessels go by the house all the time right here. Bad lighting, can't really make them out. Yeah, I think you know where we are. Good job not chasing those geese over there. Made it over to Captain's Cove. Recognized that sound, which just went by the house. And I like when a forecast comes true. There's the sundog. Refraction of sunlight off ice crystals high in the sky. Is there 2 geese there? Is one in that chair? Or is that? The goose was just talking up a storm. Is there another goose in the chair over there? What's going on? Who are you talking to? So the geese gotta be making babies now. Of course, there's gonna be a quarrel of some kind. Where are we going to live? Who's gonna pay the bills? Who's gonna do the babysitting? Where's the barge gonna sleep tonight? Wherever it is, I want a view of the moon. There it is. A couple of days away from full moon. two different marinas. The captain of the port labor talking to the captain of the skiff on the other side, guiding it in. Good side thrusters. Anchored, at least stabilized. All right, nice job. That was fun. Never actually watched that before. Oh yeah. Through the mud. Okay, stable. She's in place. I don't know what's going to happen over the next couple of days, but try and keep track of it. That one went down 30 feet, maybe 15 feet of water and 15 feet of mud. Nah, 20 feet of water, 10 feet of mud. Just guessing. Just guessing. Just like a weatherman, just guessing. It's fun to watch though. T-Rex. You haven't seen T-Rex? Waiting patiently down the other end of the dock. And our sun dog has evolved into more of a halo type phenomena there. As the sun hits the horizon, we've got plenty of content, so we're going to be running the time lapse and music here any moment. Covers will be coming off the boats if it ever gets warmer. It's only about 48 degrees right here right now. Guess who wants to go home? So soon enough, Yggdrasil will be moored off the backyard. Found its winter port. Yeah, Rex, I know. Steve wants us to go out too. We're going home. 7 o'clock. Tulips are closed up for the day. Celtics, Bruins. sunset and time lapse. That's all we have left. Where's he going? You leave that mourning dove alone. All right, so I know what happened in Weymouth. We had the low stratocumulus marine layer, gave way to blue sky, slowly. Never lost the chilly wind. And then I don't know if you can make it out as the high clouds increase from the northwest over the top of wind from the east. And the sundog, can we even see it on the time lapse? See, I don't see the time lapse until the next day, which is as I'm editing. And on Cape Cod, I think the mid-Cape, you might have seen some low clouds on the horizon toward the west early. And then the blue sky, I would assume. And high clouds increasing, maybe a sundog on Cape Cod also. Very good. Thanks for watching. Snake is over there. Watch out, Steve, there's a snake in there. Red Sox in Toronto, Celtics in Boston, Bruins in Buffalo. How did all that go? That's above my forecasting pay grade. Can't even get the weekend right. Wednesday's the day to make the call for the weekend. What did we say? Should be interesting. As always, thanks for watching. Talk to you tomorrow.